kasih kepada Tuan Chang Lih. Salam sejahtera, salam Malaysia Madani, Presiden MC, our 𝐓𝐾𝐿, dua-dua 𝐓𝐾𝐿 from MOSTI, Timbalan Ketua Setiausaha MOSTI, Dr. Osman dan juga Puan Lucia. Hi everyone, very good evening. Salam Malaysia Madani. My name is Lee Kang. My name is Tuan Chang Lih Kang. I'm the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, MOSTI. So I just want to know, have you heard of MOSTI before this? Okay, it's okay. I know I won't get a real answer, but I just want to know tonight. I can see so many people. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. But I just want to ask. Is anyone was forced to come? Is anyone forced to come? I was student before, I know. Who wants to come to talk at this ungodly hour? Listening to minister talk nonsense. Right? I was student before, it's okay, don't worry. But since you are here, you don't go lah. Since you are here, I give you some exposure about MOSTI and also the science community in Malaysia. What are the problems that we are facing, and then what we are at what stage now? I just want to ask one question. Your agak-agak Malaysia, we are at in terms of innovation, in terms of technology, where do you think our ranking is? There's one ranking called Global Innovation Index. That is our MOSTI KPI. Global Innovation Index, out of 133 countries, where do you think Malaysia is ranked? 50. Top 50? Ada lagi? Top 80? Ada lagi tak? Top 10 ada tak? Anyone think we are at the top 10? Tak ada. Top 50, top 80, top 20 ada tak? Okay, good guess, but then we are not even top 30. But we are progressing. Okay, let me tell you the answer. We are ranked number 33 in Global Innovation Index. But it's okay, because I just want to let you know we are progressing in a positive way. For the past 3 years, before last year, for the past 3 years, 3 consecutive years, we were ranked number 36. But last year, we were ranked number 33. You know what's the reason? Publication, data center. Because we have a good minister. This is the most politically correct answer. But you know, I'm just joking, No, because we ranked number 33 because a lot of people put in a lot of effort, especially our science community and also you all, students in the IPTA, IPTS, professors, researchers in the IPTA, IPTS, and we really hope this improvement can continue. And then, since a lot of people do not know what is MOSTI, I just want to let you know what does MOSTI do. Because people know, okay, Ministry of Transport, we know what that ministry is doing, right? Ministry of Agriculture, we know what that ministry is doing. But when we talk about Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, a lot of people don't know what we do. Maybe we can mention, MOSTI is Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, but you don't know what MOSTI does. So, I have summarized it into one word, precise. Precise, P-R-E-C-I-S-E. So, okay, the answer is already there. P is for people-centric. To me, technology or innovation or science is of no use if it is not related to people, no matter how cutting edge your technology is. If you cannot bring benefit to the people, it's not useful, right? So, I always remind myself and also my colleagues, we have to be people-centric. Secondly, R. Research and development, of course, that is our core business. Research and development, of course, under this sector, there are so many sectors under this segment. Research and development, we have semiconductor, biotechnology, chemistry, nanotechnology, nuclear, hydrogen. So there are a lot under this research and development. Third, E, enculturation. Enculturation means promotion or pembudayaan science. When we see a lot of kids or a lot of students, they are not interested in science. So we focus a lot in enculturation. That's why we have, if some of you are here today in the morning, so we do a lot of science enculturation program, STEM camp, like this Tech Talk to the university students. We also have this Minggu Sains Negara, Technology Olympic. So those are the things that we have been doing just to promote science among the people. C, capacity building, talent development, capacity building, so that our students or our workforce, they are good enough for the industry. That's why capacity building is part of what we do also. I, investment, any investment related to science and technology, we think this is our responsibility. So that is I. SE, startup ecosystem. We need a startup ecosystem, a robust startup ecosystem for our country to flourish. So this is part of MOSTI's job. This is part of MOSTI's responsibility. So under this segment, we have few agencies, funding agencies, basically to help startup to grow, help them to, of course, to grow, to promote their product, help them to commercialize their product. So this is a precise startup ecosystem. And I give you a real life example. Several years ago, there was this tragedy, landslide tragedy in Batang Kali. Any one of you remember that? Yeah. In that landslide tragedy, after it happens, so of course we have this SAR, Save and Rescue. Do you think we are involved, MOSTI? How are we related to that rescue, save and rescue kind of operation? You always see what? We go to the ground, you see police, right? Police is under home ministry. We go to the ground, we see bomba. Bomba is under 𝐓𝐾𝐂𝐇, Kerajaan Tempatan, Perumahan dan Kerajaan Tempatan, right? But how is MOSTI related? In fact, 4 agencies of MOSTI were involved in that operation. Firstly, MISA, Malaysia, the Space Agency of Malaysia. How is MISA involved? MISA took the satellite image just to monitor whether there's a possibility of a second landslide, and also just to make sure so that all the pasukan penyelamat, they are safe on the site. This is how MISA is involved. Secondly, if you remember, there's this something we call GPR, Ground Penetration Radar. GPR, that is Nuclear Malaysia. Why is Nuclear Malaysia involved? Because we need that device, Ground Penetration Radar, to find out whether is there anybody still buried down there. That is Nuclear Malaysia. Thirdly, Jabatan Kimia. If we found a body, we need to identify who are they. DNA. So DNA, we need DNA test to identify who are the bodies. So Jabatan Kimia is involved. Lastly, there's this agency called Meranti. We are involved in coordinating all the flying of drones in that operation. So 4 agencies were involved, but none of us know, right? None of us know, and this is mostly a rather back-end kind of ministry, but very important. So we hope by having more talks like this, we can have more engagement with the students, more engagement with the academia, and you know what we are doing, and you know what we can work together. So that is one thing. And we have one motto, we have one slogan, merakyatkan sains, menginsankan teknologi, mengarus berdagangkan inovasi. So this is our MOSTI's motto. So second point, I want to talk about challenges. Challenges, not MOSTI's challenges, but challenges of the science community. What are the challenges we are facing? Not so much how to come up with good product, how to do a very good R&D project. Not so much of that, but it's more of the attitude, people's attitude towards science and technology. First, people are fear of new changes. People are fear of changes, correct? So before this, when we had this industrial revolution, steam machine came out. First came out, machine, very effective, very efficient, much better than manpower, human. People were very worried because they thought human might be replaced by machine. Betul tak? Did it happen? Didn't happen. It didn't happen. That machine is us, but didn't replace us. Second time, when this computer came out, so suddenly computer so effective, they can compute so fast, much better than humans' brain. So we thought, oh, man, this time we might be replaced by computer. But did it happen? In fact, it didn't happen, right? It didn't happen. Computer helps us, is our life, but it didn't replace human. We still have jobs, we still have employment in the market. Third, here come AI. And this is not the normal AI, this is generative AI. It can learn, it will think by its own. It can learn, generative AI have a self-learning ability. So people are worried. But do you think AI can replace human? You think so? How to ask AI, how to learn swimming from AI? Do you think it can? 45 degree, okay, now 50, 70 degree. If you can try to learn that, you learn already, I throw you to the river, you will die. For sure. There are things that technology cannot replace human. And don't worry about that. Unfortunately, our society is always anxious, full of anxiety. When there is one new technology emerge, then they think, oh, we might die now, we all no job now, we will be replaced by that new technology. But in fact, if you look at human history, it didn't happen. So what we need to do is, we need to improve ourselves, we need to upskill ourselves. So that is first, fear. Secondly, we are very cynical. We always think, cannot Malaysia, tak berpakai lah. If we talk about space technology, I want to manufacture our very own Malaysian satellite. I always hear these people bully saya. They say, your car also you cannot make properly. I'm from Tanjung Malin, so they always bully me. Car also you cannot make properly. You want to manufacture satellite, you killer lah. But are we that bad? Are we that bad? We are not bad at all. I want to give you an example. I always use this example. Sorry, I'm my MOSTI friend. I always use this example. There is this Turkish company, Turkish Aerospace. Turkish Aerospace is a Turkish company. They make plane, they make fighter jet, they have their own fighter jet. But they come to Malaysia. They come to Cyberjaya, they open up a company, because they want to hire our engineers. What they want our engineers to do? They want our engineers to design avionics. What is avionics? Avionics is the computer, the brain of the plane, the brain of the fighter jet. Why they want Malaysian engineer? Because they think Malaysian engineers are the best. Therefore, they come all the way from Turkey to Malaysia, Cyber Giant, open up a company, hire 150, more than 150 of our Malaysian engineers. So, who dare to say we are not good enough? Unfortunately, people are very cynical. They say, cannot one cannot one Malaysia cannot do good things one. Then, third, we do not have the ability to put things in context. We always look at people very positively, but we look at ourselves very negatively, very pessimistic. I give you an example. Space technology. We are still very at a very nascent stage, and we compare ourselves with other countries. But you look at other countries, the good one, Korea, China. You look at them, you say, oh, this was very good. Then when we say, oh, we want to explore into this space technology, everybody bantai you, especially in social media, because nowadays we don't know who is hiding behind that profile, right? Even profile picture can be fake. So bantai, I always get a bantai because I'm from this community. But we forget about how they start, how they begin. Yes, China is very advanced in space technology. Korea is very advanced in space technology. Well, I tell you one experience. My experience, I went to China. And before I went to China, we just settled one view. We are going to manufacture our own remote sensing satellite. By 2028, we will have our very first remote sensing satellite made in Malaysia. So I went there confidently. I went to CNSA, the China National Space Agency. I went there. So I looked at their satellite. Okay. I asked them, when did you first launch your satellite? They said 1970. Then I told them, they not say anything already. 1970, they launched their first satellite. China, they launched their first satellite in 1970. We just started only. Even that, when we say we want to explore, we want to manufacture our own satellite, everybody whack us. Bodoh lah you, you help our cost of living better lah, you make a better bicycle rather than making a good satellite. Because you don't have the ability. Orang 1970 sudah buat lah. Now only we start, also kena lagi. That is our problem. We are too cynical, and we cannot think critically. We don't know how to put things in context. 1970, China sent their launch of a satellite. But when did they start? They started in the 50s. Korea started to explore in space technology in the 80s. And when they started, their GDP per capita was so low. China in the 50s, tak payah dekat lah, $164 per capita. Korea, $1,700 per capita when they started to explore into space, 1980s. Malaysia now, our GDP per capita, close to $12,000 US. Hey, people, 1,700 already started to venture into this space technology. We got 12,000 also we cannot explore. We all bodoh apa. So you see, this is the problem that our community is facing, the science technology community, and we always do not have confidence in ourselves. So okay, today we are going to talk about the nuclear age. In fact, I don't plan to talk much about this nuclear thing because I don't know much. Really, you don't smile. And you don't laugh at me. I'm not expert in nuclear, but today we want to talk about nuclear. Why nuclear? when we talk about nuclear, we always think about two things. One, nuclear power generation. We use nuclear to generate power. Betul tak? Second, radiative. The radiative waste. How to, very toxic, how to manage. We only think of two things. But in fact, Malaysia has been in this nuclear technology for a very long time. And we have our own nuclear reactor. It's a research reactor in Bani. We have been operating it for about 40 years already. A lot of people do not know, and it is not, nuclear is not just about power generation. In Malaysia, we have these two things. When we talk about nuclear, one is safe, peaceful use of nuclear. One is not peaceful use of nuclear. So of course, we are on this peaceful use of nuclear. Secondly, we have this power generation and non-power generation. So we are doing a lot on non-power generation because we do not have nuclear power plant in Malaysia. But of course, later on I will talk more about this. I just want to let you know, besides power generation, nuclear can do a lot of things. For instance, quietly saving life. Quietly saving life. How to save life? Because we use radioisotope. In medical field, we use a lot of radioisotope to detect and to treat, especially diseases like cancer. We use a lot of this nuclear technology. And a lot of people do not know, even in the hospital now, the current hospitals, a lot of these hospitals, we have nuclear technology, including the X-ray, MRI, and we have the radioisotopes to help us detect diseases. So that is one. Secondly, of course, is the one that I mentioned just now, the GPR, ground penetration radar. We use that to save life in bencana. So that is saving life. Secondly, nuclear can be used to improve food production. I give you an example. There's this rice variant called NMR. NMR 151 and NMR 152. This is invented by our Nuclear Malaysia. So a lot of people do not know. Nuclear Malaysia melibatkan diri dalam this food security. In fact, this NMR is what Nuclear Malaysia Rice. That is Nuclear Malaysia Rice. That's why we call it NMR. It's a variant that can very strong disease resistance and also drug resistance. So these are good things that we have been doing using nuclear technology, and a lot of people do not know. And of course, we also have this protect environment. How nuclear it can be used to protect environment. Remember this the Fukushima. A lot of people say, oh, there might be radiative in the sea. That's why we put one device in Sabah, near the UMS jetty. We put one device. We call that gamma spectrum water monitoring station. We call that gamma spectrum water monitoring system. What is that for? That is a device that we use nuclear technology to detect whether there is any radiative element or material in the seawater. So that is nuclear technology also. And also we use this nuclear device to detect whether there is any pollution in the environment. And last but not least is to support industry. So how to use nuclear technology to support industry? For instance, there is this NDT. We use this non-destructive testing. We use this to check is there any leakages in the pipe, I think oil and gas use a lot. So that is also one of the application in industry. And of course today afterward we have another speaker. He is expert in the scanners. Scanners, they use nuclear technology to scan whether there are any explosive, there are any radioactive material. So those are the technologies that we are already using in a lot of our ports and also airports. So these are the things that we are using in our real life. And we come to the last part, nuclear energy. And I think a lot of people are more interested in this. Nuclear energy. Are we going into nuclear energy? Malaysia, are we good enough to manage or handle nuclear energy? So it's an old idea, as we said earlier. Nuclear energy is an old idea, but new relevance. Why do I say nuclear energy is an old idea? How many of you know our very first nuclear power plant, it was built in what year? Commissioned in what year? In Russia, in the 50s. If not mistaken, 1954. 1954, first nuclear power reactor in Russia. We have already been using it for more than half a century. And not only those very, in fact, in this world, there are 33 countries use nuclear to generate power. 33 countries, including the latest, the newcomer, Bangladesh. Bangladesh can handle, Malaysia cannot handle. Brazil, 1971, they built their first nuclear power plant. Until today, how many years? You see, so sometimes it's the fear, or sometimes it's the distrust of our own capability and also ability. And we always think that, oh, this one we cannot. We cannot. Brazil can, Mexico can, Bangladesh can, but Malaysia cannot. So this is the problem. But why do we need it? Not that I want to. I always say, well, not that I want to, but it needs to happen. Nuclear energy, we need to explore into this nuclear energy. In fact, not only myself has been talking, Petra, our energy ministers and also energy deputy minister, also they have been talking about this venturing into nuclear power. Why? Because there are a few reasons. By 2050, we have this very ambitious goal. By 2050, we want to achieve net zero emission. Means net zero emission means no extra carbon. We need to control it. So by 2050, net zero emission. So all our, not all, at least half of our energy has to be clean energy. What is clean energy? Solar is clean energy. Hydro is clean energy. Wind is clean energy. Problem is, nuclear is also clean energy. The problem with solar, wind, they are intermittent. So it's not like always you can get solar, of course, only one day, about 5-6 hours, sometimes shorter. Wind, our wind here is not strong enough to generate power. So now what are we using? Our energy mix, about 15% hydro, 5% solar, and the rest are fossil fuel. Coal and also natural gas we are using, about 80% fossil fuel. By 2033, we are going to retire our coal plant. 2033. 2040, no more new fossil fuel power plant. So what do we do? If we just rely on hydro and solar, we do not have enough clean energy. Especially, our demand on energy is getting higher and higher. Why? Because we are venturing into AI. We are venturing into quantum computing, and all this involve computing power. You need a lot of storage. So we need data center. Data center consume a lot of power, energy, water. So where do we get all this energy from? If we do not explore into this nuclear energy, because people have been using nuclear for so long, and then the reactor design has been improving from first generation, second generation, third generation now is like a common reactor. Even now they are venturing into fourth generation. So each generation, the design will be safer. That's why now we have fourth generation already. Well, of course, later I can get my expert to tell you what's the difference. But basically, that's the idea. So these are the things. Like it or not, we have to venture into nuclear power generation. But how? Now, of course, not like immediately or by 2027, 2028, we must have our nuclear power plant. Cannot. We need to do a lot of preparation work. First, regulatory. So by now, we do not have a law to regulate nuclear power plant. So definitely 2028, 2029, we won't have our first nuclear power plant. But we need to do preparation. A lot of international conventions we need to sign. We need to have a lot of dialogue with UNIAEA. So those are the things that we need to do. And at the same time, we need a lot of talent. If we have reactor, nuclear reactor, who are going to do that? I mean, by that time I'm already old, and definitely it's not me. I'm not going to operate that nuclear reactor. Must be youngster like you all. So maybe 10 years after this, you all, one of you or 5 of you here might be a nuclear reactor operator. So we need to start now. We need to send our talent to training. France, US, China, Korea, Japan. We need to send our talent to learn. Secondly, there are so many other career potential. The next slide. And all these career potential are high value, high growth employment. We need nuclear engineers, health diseases, reactor operators, of course, radiation safety officers, waste management expert, and also there are so many other things. So since I'm telling you, we are venturing into this nuclear power generation. Maybe if any one of you are interested, you should start looking at it, looking at related courses, or looking at related research, or maybe you want to be sent to overseas to be one of the talent in the talent development pipeline. So these are the things that you can be your option, because I just want to tell you, I mean, like it or not, we have to go. Maybe we might start small SMR, small modular reactor, but definitely we are going to explore into this field. So I hope we need to prepare by now. I hope by that time everybody is already prepared. So of course I know there are still many issues, but it's okay. Later we have another speaker, then after that we have Q&A. So keep your question to ask in Q&A session. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dan berhormat Menteri atas persiapan Pak Penggunaan MOSTI Tech Talks.